Hello. So today we're going to be talking about how IMGs can practice in Alberta. IMGs, that's International Medical Graduates. So if you graduated as a doctor outside of Canada, Caribbean, Nigeria, Ghana, anywhere across the globe that you know that is a medical school that when they check the record is in existence, this is for you. And this is to tell you how you can practice in Canada. Once again, my name is Dr. Chigozie, and I bring you these news as they are coming up. Today, we're going to be dealing with Alberta. We've dealt with BC, we've dealt with Manitoba, and today we're going to be dealing with Alberta, how you can practice in Alberta as a doctor. So, having said that, we can now move. And if today is the first time you're coming across my channel, please do well to subscribe so you can get information like this. And that's just the way you can encourage me as someone who brings this valuable information your way each time I come here, despite being very busy, because I'm very busy offline. So let's go. There's something you need to note about practicing in Alberta and practicing in Canada as a whole. In Canada, each province have their own licensure, have their own requirement, and you need to meet their own requirement for you to practice in that province. So today we are dealing with Alberta. One thing you have to understand in Alberta is not all internationally trained physicians in Alberta follow the same route. So there are pathways in Alberta, and it depends on the country where you trained. That's to tell you that your pathway depends on whether College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta, that's the CPSA that you're seeing there before you start asking me what's the meaning. This College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta, it depends on whether they consider your training jurisdiction approved or whether you must go through sponsorship via PRA. So this is something you need to understand to know that wherever you are applying for, either of these pathways may be applicable to you. So it now depends on what you want to do and what you do not want to do. The jurisdiction approved grants you more access to start practicing almost immediately if you go through all the documentation that you need to do. That's what the jurisdiction approved pathway is. But the sponsorship pathway via practice ready assessment is one that is kind of more tedious because you may require to write one or two exams like therapeutic decision making or ski for some provinces, and also MCCQ1 for some provinces, but not all provinces, because just like I said in the previous video, BC has removed every exams. The only thing you may need to write is just therapeutic decision making, and that's amazing. So let's continue. So that brings me to the introduction. One is this: you must get a practice permit from the College of Physicians and Surgeons in Alberta for you to be able to practice in Alberta. And Alberta has two main pathways: the approved jurisdiction route, and this is applicable to doctors that are trained in Australia, Ireland, United Kingdom, United States of America. I know others would join as time goes on, but these are the ones that are jurisdiction approved on the website of College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta. Because before I bring out this kind of information, I have to do my due diligence. If you watch, I don't post all the time. That's because it has to be valuable and it has to be what is true. So these are the countries currently that are approved to go through this jurisdiction. That doesn't mean that by tomorrow something may not change. If anything still changes, I'll still bring it for you here. Then we now have the practice ready assessment pathway, which is now applicable to most doctors across the globe, provided your medical school is accredited and they can be verified. So this practice ready assessment pathway is applicable or may be applicable to you. Then what are the steps to follow if you want to follow the practice ready assessment? This practice ready assessment is actually very easy is actually what most people that are in Nigeria, Ghana, Kenya, Congo could actually go through, and they will be able to practice in Canada. And also whether you are in Mauritius, anywhere you can go through this practice ready assessment pathway. These are the steps for you to follow for practice ready assessment pathway. You have to do what? Open a physiciansapply.ca account. I made a video on how you can actually open this account, this physicians.ca account, and upload your documents. I'm going to tag that video on this as in here. You will look at it and you will see the video so that you can go through it on how you can open your profile with them and put in your documentation for them to do what? Verify it and make it at par with the standard in Canada. Then you will need to submit your credentials by the time you do that for them to do source verification, which means they're going to reach out to your school. They're going to ask them if you really went to that medical school. So there is no hiding place. If you did, when they finish the verification, they will still let you know that they have finished verifying it, and they will send you a certificate from Medical Council of Canada to say, okay, we have determined that you are a medical graduate and you can now start your process of practicing in Alberta. Then let the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta determine which Alberta route you qualify for. That's after they have verified your document. They will check whether you qualify for the approved jurisdiction route. If you are not from the approved jurisdiction, expect the PRA route. And that's what most people are likely going to be, because there is a limitation to the number of countries that the approved jurisdiction route favors. Then again, you need to secure a sponsored position. If you're on the PRA route, that's practice ready assessment route, you need to secure a sponsor. That you need to have a hospital, an individual, it could be private, saying, okay, we are ready for you to work with us. So you have to make application and see, okay, if you have someone that is willing to work with you. And that's one of the things that can actually expedite the process of your practice. Then you will complete the College of Physicians and Surgeons of Alberta application with all the supporting requirements and the supporting documents. When you get this sponsorship, that's after document verification, application, and if they need any of the exams, especially therapeutic decision making, you will need to write it. Except you're going to provide I don't think there is nothing that will take. If you're going through the PRA route, most likely you will write the therapeutic decision making exam, except they change it today, because you can never say never. That's why I'm putting all caveats. So but for now, you're going to write therapeutic decision making exam, and if you pass the exam, for you to write that exam, you will need a sponsor first. So it is that letter of sponsorship that you're going to use and say, okay, this hospital want to sponsor me. This hospital say I should come and practice with them. So that's your sponsorship letter is now what will give you access to writing your TDM. You understand that now? So if you do not understand, drop a question, I will answer you. So when you have done that and you get through all this documentation process, you can now do what? You also do what? Complete a criminal record check. They're going to check you both in your country, both in Canada, if you have any criminal history. Because if you do, you may likely not be able to practice, because you're going to be most people that you're going to be suing may be vulnerable people, and nobody wants to expose any criminal to people who are vulnerable. So let us think. If you're on a PRA route, complete the assessment process as well. Don't think that when you're on the approved jurisdiction route that you're not doing a documentation. You are still doing all the documentation, just that your own is faster and you may not take all the exams. Then for BC, they've removed all exams, and I made a video on how you can access BC, and I provided all the links, just like I'm going to provide all the links in the description box of this, where you can see countries that are in the approved jurisdiction route, and even those that are specialists that want to practice in Canada. You will still see countries that, okay, they have approved jurisdiction route for specialists. You will see them. I'm going to put that link in the description box. I'm also going to put the website in the description box so that you can go there and read more things for yourself. Then Understand that provincial registration is a conditional practice. So when you now get into this PRA, you have passed all the rate limiting steps and everything, and this hospital has taken, you've done criminal record check, and the thing is this, you will still be on conditional practice. That's like probation. You're going to have a provisional license for some months. Let them see, okay, while you are working, will anybody report you? Are you doing well? What is this? Because they need to understand this person that say they have these skills, do they really have it? And you will not blame the system, because anybody can lie. So if you prove beyond reasonable doubt that, okay, that you are qualified to do this and you are qualified to practice as a doctor, that's when you are likely going to get your full licensure to become an independent practitioner or independent family physician. So, and that's, I know that's what you're looking forward to. And that will come to be if you become patient and go through these steps. Trust me, the steps are not easy to navigate, but then they are doable. That's just it. And whatever is doable, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. So after you have finished completing all the licensure steps and everything, you are now completely ready to start work. What you will need to do is, well, you will complete your employment and practice start steps. So this employment and practice start steps means that after CPSA grants the appropriate registration and practice permit, the next steps depends on your job setting. In some cases, many physicians complete employer onboarding. Hospital privilege may be applicable, or if applicable in such hospital, and billing setup where you are practicing as an independent practitioner. So what you will do is, what you're going to do your billing setup before starting work. But all these things, you're going to get to know them by the time you start your practice. Then the licensure step is the rate limiting step. So, but it's usually not the only administrative step before clinical practice begins. So by the time you're done with your licensure, there are other things that you may also do, but that will depend on your practice and the span of how you want to go in your practice. So these are strictly by the time you have entered and joined the moving train, you will now get to understand to say, okay, this is what I need to do, this is what I need not to do, and these are other things that you may need to do, and other certifications that you may also get to help you in continued learning or continuing education. Because the truth is, what you will continue improving yourself if you really want to be an efficient doctor. I hope that sinks. So that's for that. Another one is this: if you think, okay, all the steps that you need to go through to become a licensed physician or family physician, independent practitioner in Canada, that the steps are just too much for you, and you want to settle for something low while you build up the finances to go through all these certifications and all the licensure steps. The thing is this: there's what they call associate physician route. But the thing is this: associate physician have limitations. So it's a limited practice. If you are pursuing it, the thing is, the role is what? Like, it can give you the immediate gratification of being employed and working. But at the end of the day, if you really want to be a doctor, you may not be satisfied being an associate physician, because it can only be okay for you if your immediate goal is not full independent physician licensure. So Alberta has a limited practice registration route for this, which is associate physician, where you can just be assisting physicians to work and you become a government staff. You're not going to be an independent practitioner or an independent physician. But this route required completion of Medical Council of Canada qualifying exam, which is what? MCCQE. So you are going to write the exam if you want to practice this. The beauty of it is that you can actually stop anytime and still go for your full licensure if you don't want to continue as an associate physician. So you can go for your full licensure, and the full licensure, you will still use the same medical and Medical Council of Canada qualifying exam. That's the same MCCQ one you wrote. So you can use MCCQ one, start working as an associate physician, then pave your way through and say, okay, right now it's time to go and practice fully as a physician, and you will begin your application. And one good thing about being an associate physician is still it gives you recency of practice. So what experience or whatever experience you've had over time being an associate physician qualifies for recency of practice. So you can see it's a win-win. Instead of you being out of the system while you're trying to get your licensure, you can actually start with being an associate physician while you work towards getting your licensure, and that grants you opportunity to have what recency of practice. So this pathway is different from becoming independently licensed as a physician in Alberta. Is just a government work. You are assisting physicians, but it gives you recency of practice experience, and that is going to be good for you when you are applying to work as a physician. You will no longer be applying as someone without a recency of practice, but you'll be applying like someone who has recency of practice. So having said that, I hope you subscribed. If you've not, please do like, share, invite your friends. I'm actually planning on having a day where I can talk to doctors and see how far we can actually help those trying to navigate the system of coming to practice in Canada. Have a nice day, and remember to subscribe, share, and like.